All right, hi everybody, John Meadows here. I just finished a leg workout, well actually it's about a half hour ago. And I was getting ready to leave the gym and I wanted to respond to some questions that I had. People were asking me about Seth sets. So Seth Feroce is a really good bodybuilder that has an approach that he calls Seth sets. So people want to know what I think about them. So let me tell you what I think they are. I think it's when you take a weight and you go to complete failure with it, and then you cut the weight in half and you double the reps that you did on the first set. So let's say you do 100 pounds for 10 reps. Then you would cut it down to 50 pounds, but you would do 20 reps. Now, my first thought is, that sounds crazy, which I like. I like crazy, so I want to try this out. So what I did was I just warmed up. I did a couple sets of barbell curls. Now, I don't have really strong biceps. I've got a 10 and a 15 on each side here, so we've got about 95 pounds. So I figured if I use this weight, then I can just strip the weight up and do the bar. That would essentially cut it in half, close enough. So what I'm going to do is see how many reps I can get here. And Seth even mentioned that even if you're doing like some half reps, those still count. You want to get everything you can out of the set. So you're probably going to see me get to where I'm even cheating a little bit. Not going to go crazy and kill my back, but I probably will do a couple half reps on top. So this is my first time ever doing a Seth set. So let's see how it goes. Here's how my arms look now. Let's see if they pump up. Okay, here we go. We'll call that 16. So that means now I have to do 32. It's burning. 10. Oh, 15. 20. Oh. 27. 30, 31, 32. Oh. 32. Ooh. Oh, that burned. Whew, well, it's been 2-3 minutes. The blood's coming. I can feel that crazy pump in there. So now, a couple things. I think this technique would be best for safe exercises. The video I saw with Seth doing them, he was using dumbbell presses, which would be a perfect exercise. I was doing a curl. My arms are still burning. I could see doing a leg extension, a leg curl. So I think if you're going to do something like that, you just want to pick the right exercise. The wrong exercise would be like a squat. You'd probably fail and hurt yourself. So just be careful Now, would this work? So let's talk about, would it work, and how much of it would you want to do if it does work? So would it work? Of course it would work, and let me tell you why. I've been a little frustrated lately. I feel like some of the people are kind of out-sciencing muscle growth. They're like thinking too hard about it. And there's a guy, his name is Chris Beardsley in England, and he talks about the last 5 reps being the most crucial to muscle growth. And his reasoning is that's when you challenge the muscle. When you get down to that last 5 reps, you're really challenging the muscle. Now, if you ask anybody that has any education in hypertrophy, they're going to tell you that you have to progressively overload. Whether you're natural, whether you're not natural, everybody's going to tell you need to progressively overload. That can be done by using more weight. It can be done by using more reps. There's a lot of different ways to overload. Now, my common sense tells me that in order for you to overload and do something you haven't done before, you're going to get to that last 5 rep threshold. You have to, because you have to keep getting better. Now, what I've heard people talk about recently is, well, the science is showing that maybe the last 5 reps aren't that important. I don't even know what to say to that. That is ludicrous. It doesn't mean the reps before that, I'm not saying those reps are useless. But what I am saying is those last 5 reps, when you get close to failure, are important. That's when you are overloading, when you're pushing to another level. So first of all, when you're in pain, good pain, when you're working toward the end of a set, those reps matter. Those reps are very important. If it's a lightweight, muscle fibers are fatiguing and they're calling in more muscle fibers for help. That's how you get maximal activation. Maximal activation isn't the end all be all though. Then now you got to exhaust muscle fibers. So now you got to take them to where they fail. Not only are you using them, you want them all to fail. So what Seth is advocating, even throwing in some partials, is beyond failure. So if you want to talk about overloading, if you want to talk about activating muscle fibers, it just makes sense. So I did, so anyways, if you think about the reps that matter, let's say you do 3 sets of 10 on an exercise. Let's say the last 2 reps are hard on all the sets. So let's say you have 6 total reps that are hard. Now, let's imagine you're doing a set where you go almost to failure, and then you take a little break, only a short break, and then you do some more reps that are right on the end of failure, and you repeatedly do that. That's what I do when I do cluster sets. So I might have 3 reps that are hard, I'll rest, I'll get another 3 or 4 reps that are hard, and I'll repeat that. So by the end of the sequence, I've really done like 12, 15 reps. Now, if you watch the leg video I did a week or 2 ago, we did that on the pendulum squat. And I was beat up, and it was 1 set. So I had a lot of those end reps that are the most important. Now, what Seth is saying is to do a lot of those as well. So we're going to failure, then we're picking it up, and we're essentially going to failure again, and we're continually doing that. So it's very similar to the cluster set method that I describe. Both of those methods are going to make you do a lot of those end set reps where you're doing hard reps. You rest a second, you do some more hard reps. So I undoubtedly think it's a great application. Now, how often would you do it? Well, with the cluster sets, I like to do it on 1 or 2 exercises at the end. I found that it's so hard, that's probably all you need. And I would say the same thing about set sets. I would say if you're doing 4 exercises for a body part, you probably want to do it on maybe 2 sets. One, the 3rd exercise and the 4th exercise on the last set. And again, I would steer away from like a squat. So if you're doing a leg workout, you could do whatever, squats. Then you could do like a leg extension with a set, or a leg curl. Or heck, if you got good spotters, you could even do a hack squat. You could really blow your legs up. You get them looking real nice. So in summary, the science part of this is unquestionable. You're going to failure, and you're taking a little break, you're going to failure again. So you're getting the hard reps. By doing that, by exhausting the muscle fibers, you're getting full activation, Again, it's not just about activation, it's about exhausting muscle fibers as well, something I'm a very strong believer in. Heavy weight also gives you full activation, but I know a lot of dudes that lift real heavy doing sets of 3 or 4 that aren't necessarily real big because they're not really taxing muscle fibers, they're not taking them to failure. Through exhaustion, I should say, through a lot of reps. So my review is, of course it works, it undoubtedly works. And a side note, they really push you to work through pain, good pain. And anything that makes you do that, I'm a fan of. I think a lot of people don't really understand how much they can go, like how much they have to give, until they've actually pushed it once and done that. So I really like when people come here to train with me and we do a set like that, like a cluster set, and they're exhausted and they're like, man, I've never pushed myself like that. I like that. It lets them know what they're capable of. And this is the kind of technique that'll do that. It'll push you so that you have to work through pain. And I believe that for you to get to your ultimate potential, you're going to have to just work through some good pain. You're going to have a lot of those sets where the reps are really hard but safe. I think those are great ways to get better, whether you're natural, whether you're not natural. I think those are absolutely great techniques to get you there. So that's my review on Seth sets. I think they're great. And kudos to Seth for thinking outside the box on that. His has structure in terms of reps, which I appreciate as well. So those of you who are really structured, who even want to overload with this, you could do that. Like what I just did, if I wanted to overload, I could try to do even more reps next week and do the same thing. So just because you're doing something crazy like that doesn't mean you can't overload. And I don't remember how many reps I did, 12 or 13, to 16, then another 32. You don't have to do that many reps. You could do 7 reps and then drop down and do 14 reps. So you can work in different rep ranges. Don't think that you have to do a really high rep range. So anyways, short video today. Hope you guys appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.